Welcome back. This is training video number 3. We're going over the setup tab of the software. So that's located here in the menu, and the first sub-tab is the settings sub-tab that we're on right now. Now I'm not going to go over all of these because it would just take way too long, but there is an eye here on a lot of these settings that you'll notice, and this eye is just going to be some information that will tell you a little bit about what that setting does. But a lot of them are pretty self-explanatory. A couple that I would point out is maybe the billing period. This is how many days before the due date when the software is going to generate an invoice on the tenant's account. That one's kind of an important one. The agreement down here, this agreement is going to be your electronic storage agreement that you want uploaded in the software, and this is what your tenants are going to electronically sign when they're renting a unit. Accepted payment methods, you're going to want to make sure that these are also supported by your merchant account. So some merchant accounts don't accept American Express or maybe ACH. If we're helping you, we'll make sure that the appropriate ones get checked. But if you're setting up your merchant account by yourself, you'll just need to make sure that those are supported by your merchant account. And then lastly, these other settings, these all have an eye, and so we'll let you view those in your own time there. The next sub-tab is managers. The managers has 3 different kind of manager logins. There's an owner login, a manager login, and a sales associate login. And you could create all 3 with this new manager button and play around with them. But basically, you'd just come here if you needed to change like a username or password for a manager. The manager and the owner login, those 2 are both pretty similar. The owner would just have access to maybe a couple notifications that the manager wouldn't. The sales associate login would only have access to maybe renting a unit and making a payment. So a really basic access to the software. But you can feel free to play around with that. The next sub-tab is the contact sub-tab, and you won't really have to play around with this much either, but this information does show up on your website. So if you notice that maybe your website has the wrong address or something was entered wrong, you can come here and change that. The next sub-tab is the gate sub-tab, and the gate sub-tab is just where we would connect your software to a gate software. So a lot of these sub-tabs under the setup tab are going to be like integrations. The gate integration, we can integrate with these companies here. These are called gate softwares, and that's how our software will communicate to your gate, is through a gate software. And so if you're ready to do that, just give us a call and we'll help you do it. Also, we do have our own gate integration for our own equipment. It's a cloud-based access control, and it works a lot better than these other ones because it's cloud-based, and so it's not really going to have downtime if your computer crashes or anything like that. But it works really good. If you have interest in that, just let us know and we'll give you details about that. The next sub-tab is fees, and this is really basic. It's just different fees that you want to have the ability to charge to tenants. So you'll put them in here, and then when you're on the tenant's account page, you'll be able to select these from a drop-down menu, and I'll show you that later in another video under the customers tab. The next sub-tab is late/lien, and the late/lien, this is a really cool feature that we built not too long ago, but it's kind of the rules of your software. And so you have 5 different events that can happen: the late, locked out, pre-lien, lien, and auction. These are all events. You don't have to do all of them. It's all based on what your facility rules are. And so how it works is, like, if you have a late rule, the one that's set up right now is saying if they're 1 day past due, they're going to get a notification that's emailed to them and texted to them, and they're also going to get a late fee of $10. And you can edit that here. You could increase the days past due. You could add a notification. These we'll show you in another video that are located under the email, text, and print tab under templates. But you can create a custom maybe letter or email that goes out to them. You can require it to print if you want to send it to them through the USPS. There's just a lot of different kind of settings and ways you can set these up. So we're going to cancel this and go back. But this whole page is pretty cool, the late/lien settings. If you don't understand it, just give us a call. We'll help you walk through it and set it up so that it reflects your facility and your business. The next sub-tab is the payment gateway. And you won't ever really have to mess with this either. This is just for connecting your payment processing to, but there's a number of different gateways and merchant accounts that we can connect to. Next we have QuickBooks, And the QuickBooks integration, it works pretty well. Basically, it's just to get all the transactions into QuickBooks so you can do your bookkeeping and accounting. We also have an awesome resource here, Ty Meinhardt. He's an accountant and works in our TrueView division, where they can actually do all the bookkeeping for you if you don't want to worry about it. They can do payroll and taxes and quarterlies and all kinds of stuff. So if you have questions about that, Ty is the man to talk to. Just call in and ask for Ty. The next sub tab is insurance, and the insurance tab, we like to use a company called StoreSmart because they're pretty awesome to work with, but you can work with any insurance company. And so you'd come here just to set up those settings. So you'd create like the premiums and the limits. So for example, there's a premium of $7.95 a month, and then that covers $1,000. But that's where all these settings are, and we can help you set that up as well. So here we have Blue Moon. This is just an agreement type tool that is mainly used for the Texas storage facilities. Whoever's a TXSSA member, if you need help connecting that, just let us know. And then lastly is tax rates, and this is just a page where you set up your tax rates. So you might have different taxes according to different things, like maybe outdoor storage is taxed at a different rate than indoor storage, or so that when you're charging a fee or a product or doing a new rental, you could pick from a drop down of a tax rate. Other than that, that's everything under the setup tab. Please join us for the next video. We'll go over the units tab.